Welcome, survivors, burnout community, and those just interested. It's Kelly Buboltz, trainer, author, speaker, and your burnout prevention mentor. Burnout is not taboo. It's our reality in this chaotic, fast-paced world. But we're not going to let it drive the narrative to our stories. We're going to do something about it. So let's dig in. Have you ever wondered why over time we lose focus? Why sometimes you go in for a task and you're ready for it, and then over time you just lose that momentum? It's very similar to physical inertia, where you start sprinting, right? You can't continue to sprint at that amount of pace. That's why it's called a sprint. It's short term. If you look at marathon runners, right, they have a pace schedule to make sure that they can continue for such a long haul. If you look at ultra marathon runners, they do a lot of brain and mindset training because they're going 100 miles. They're running 100 miles. And again, their pacing is going to be different. So this really comes down to attention fatigue. And it's a gradual loss over time because your brain can't continue in such a deep work thinking process without getting exhausted, without getting that fatigue. So this usually happens, when you're studying something new. So you're really in that think mode, that deep work, when you're doing repetitive tasks over and over and over and over again. I come from manufacturing, and some of our highest safety incidents was in repetitive work because you just start checking out. Your brain starts even though it's doing a task muscle wise, it's starting to check out from this repetitive nature and kind of this in this autopilot mode in which it stops thinking. It stops going into that deep work. And it also happens when you're doing a lot of overtime, or you're overdoing it. You're crossing that energy line that most of us don't know where that is. So when you really look at it from a physical endurance kind of point of view, but in your cognitive load, you are way overloading your brain when we go into these deep work tasks, but we also have interruptions and distractions coming in. Someone's at your door, someone's dinging on your phone. The worst thing that I've seen is those Apple Watches, those notification watches, because it gets you out of deep work and now you have to spend extra brain calories to get back in it. We're exhausting ourselves with those watches. So the cognitive load has a limited capacity to process things. It actually is overloaded at any point in time. So at any second, you will have 11 million bits of information coming in. 11 million bits of information. So that's not just what you're seeing, it's what you're smelling, it's interpreting colors, it's interpreting behaviors, so smells, all those senses, right? Sight, smells, taste, what you're hearing. So 11 million bits of information is coming in, and your brain can only process 40 to 50 bits of information per second. Not 40,000, 40. So if your brain can only interpret and absorb 40 bits of information per second, but it's seeing 11 million, it will basically consume what it deems relevant. And that's, again, why we work a lot on that core factor within the workforce energy management model of what's the story, who's your character, actions in play, to really check ourselves and our perceptions often to remove our biases and really grab the information that's relevant. So biologically, you can't consume all the information that's coming in. Then add in that we intentionally, I think, because we're addicted to technology and devices, we overstimulate ourselves, and then add in distractions that always available, so anyone can pop in and text and call and you will take it. So biologically, we're over consuming information and allowing more information to come in. What happens with this is you will start to have loss of information, actually loss of performance and quality, because it's overstimulated, and there's even more information we're allowing to come in that, again, it's not going to increase at 40 to 50 bits of information per second. So you're overdoing it at any point in time in the day. So why we lose focus is overconsumption of inputs, activities, and distractions that are coming in. So what we can do to start to train our brain, and this was really hard for me as someone who dives into change management, all the new things, all different organizations and industries. There's a lot to cover there. So I'm reading books, I'm reading blogs, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm networking with people, a lot of information I'm consuming at any point in time. I really had to combat this. And a great technique that helped me to stay focused longer and stay in deep work longer was micro breaks. So I can't take a long break. I'm already thinking about work when that hour is up. So I actually take micro breaks. So 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. If I need a longer one, like a lunch, I'll take 15 minutes because I take all these little micro breaks every 20 minutes or so to reset myself, breathe, go get a drink of water, walk around. The other thing that I'll do is task variation. So if I do a deep work task, then I'll do some easy back office things. And then I'll do another deep work task. And then I'll do some back office things. Really find out your work style. In DISC, if you know your DISC work style, and that's why this is important because a lot of us don't even know ourselves. There's a DISC work style, a high C, that's our blues. And they really love deep work for long periods of time. They don't like to break out from it. But then they need to remove distractions. They really need to be focused on their priorities and know the priority. So they actually like longer periods of deep work and then they're off. And then they can do back office type of tasks, little tasks throughout the rest of the afternoon. So really understanding your work style. Mine is more ping and pong, shiny object work style. So I do micro breaks. I do deep work, micro break, deep work, micro break, maybe some back office things. So between micro breaks and that task variation, that has helped a ton with being a little bit more in focus and not having that afternoon slump of just decision fatigue, exhaustion. And then during those short breaks, I'll do things to reset my body. So I mentioned the water. I'll get a snack and I'll try to focus on energy packed snacks. So either protein packed, getting things full again. I'll do a quick stretch and not like weird in the office stretching, but like I'll just bend over, touch my toes. I'll stretch real high. I'll do some of these, really just get that circulation moving. I'll walk around. I might connect with a few people verbally or text to just, again, stay connected in community. So between breathing, fueling my body with water and good food, and then movement, and some connection, I reset myself and then I go again. And when you look at a marathon, which really is what kind of our days are right now, especially because I have 3 little kids, early morning rush, work rush, evening rush, and then, you just kind of crash at the end of the night. That's a marathon, right? We're not talking just 8-hour work days. We're also talking that home life and mix of that integration. So when you can do the micro breaks and the task variation, and during those breaks, really utilize it to fuel your mind, body, and soul to keep going, it wasn't as exhausting. Like at the end of the day, I would sit in bed, and instead of just feeling like what happened today, I would feel progress. I would feel good because I connected with people, even in small size, bite size. I feel good because my guts feel good, right? I ate good stuff. I feel good because I'm hydrated. I feel good because my brain is just not like zapped. So again, when you look at it in a small scope like a day, you can see the energy start to come back. Now look at that over 7 days, a week. Like you go into Monday actually excited. You wake up and you're like, yeah, let's do this because it's sustainable. Right now we're like, go, firefighter. Let's get some cookies in the lunchroom, and then let's get another coffee in the afternoon when I have my slump. And I'm not saying that with blame or shame to you. I'm literally just describing what my life was like, where I just kind of went all day long. It wasn't sustainable. And slowly my body ate away at itself, shutting one organ down at a time. So combat it with micro breaks. If you are that busybody, if you have an overload, do that task variation in and out of deep work to allow your brain that little bit of rest, get a few things done, and then go back into deep work, and then treat your body right. It is a beautiful temple, and just recovering from my physical burnout collapse in only 7 months after completely collapsing and almost having a heart attack, it is a beast if you fuel it right, if you treat it right. So combating some of that busy, ever demanding world that we're in with a nice workflow will increase your focus and combat this like afternoon slump, because when it goes down, you're treating it right, and then it comes back, and then you're treating it good, and then it's coming back. So we want to make sure that we're not going backwards, that we're going forwards with our energy management and setting realistic expectations, setting practical breaks instead of like these long, elongated breaks. Take micro breaks if you need them, and don't take the long break. Do what fits your work style. Minimize distractions. Really think about putting notifications on silent, getting rid of the Apple Watch, and self-monitoring yourself during the day, just like people who do physical endurance activities. They monitor themselves at any point in time, listen to what their bodies and minds are saying, and feed the energy.
I know you're not lazy. Most people in burnout are high performers, those serving others before themselves. Don't discount this step today, the action in which you focus on your self-growth. Piecing together the puzzle is half the journey. Rediscovering yourself, energy, and establishing new habits is the other. Do not underestimate the untapped inner strength inside you. Explore more resources on my website to move from zombie mode back to liveliness. See you soon.